I am here with Professor Peter Singer, you've been called the world's greatest living philosopher, and you are here in the U.S. right now on a book tour for your new book. You're calling it Animal Liberation Now. So welcome, Professor Singer. I should mention, of course, Professor of Bioethics at Princeton.
Thanks very much, Diane. It's really a pleasure to be with you.
So you've called it a new book, but in 1975 you came out with Animal Liberation. So what's new in the last 48 years?
Well, a lot is new in the last 48 years. As you can imagine, things have changed. And on the one hand, we do have a lot more people aware of the issue of animals and ready to recognize that animals have rights, or at least they have interests that we need to take very seriously. There are a lot more awareness of people not eating meat, plant-based eating, vegan eating, whatever you want to call it, is much more popular. And in some parts of the world, particularly Europe and the United Kingdom, there have been some improvements in how we treat animals in factory farms, much less so, unfortunately, in the United States. So I did want to update all of that discussion, talk about the progress, but also talk about how far we still need to go. And there's so much material there. That's why it really is a new book.
Let's look at why. I often think it's a legislative solution that tends to move the ball forward in terms of conditions, for factory farmed animals. Why is the U.S. in particular so much worse?
Unfortunately, I think the US is worse because money and lobbyists have a more powerful political influence here than they do in Britain or Europe or Australia, where I'm from. And my evidence for that is that when you put these issues, like should all farm animals be able to walk around, to turn around without running into the sides of their enclosure, or other animals, should they be able to stretch their limbs? If you put that to American voters, and it's been done in a few states like California and Massachusetts, They overwhelmingly say yes. And in those states, you can get legislative change. But in other states with no opportunity for a referendum initiated by the citizens, or at the federal level, though it's really important, you can't get that change. It just is constantly blocked by the lobbyists who can hold things up in Congress.